What is up, my little Deinos? Vepsis, your coach of the Helsinki Dragons, and we are back for the UBL Season 4 Week 3 battle versus Skyrander, and his team beat the Scandinavian Stoutlands. Our nemesis from the UBL D-League days has returned. He actually replaced it Golden Dragon after he unfortunately had some Switch issues, like the Switch console issues, that he wasn't able to participate for the remaining of the season unless he would have played through the showdown in itself, and he didn't feel like that's really worth it for himself, and I completely understand that decision that he had to make for himself, unfortunately, because of that. But luckily for us, Skyrander was selected to be replaced by him over his team, and he actually was able to play already his week 2 battle, and he did manage to beat Marot on that battle with the roster that he did not draft for himself. But now he was able to make some changes, and this will be his first week to use those mods that he was able to require from free agency, along with some of the mods that he get from the original draft. If you want to see Skyrander's roster, I leave a link for that down below in the description, so it takes you directly into the automatics made website what we use for this draft league in itself, and it's gonna immediately open it to the team page of Skyrander's team, so you see the mods that he has, what the record he's having, his schedule and everything like that. So if you're interested, you can do that. But for ourselves, I'm gonna be going very briefly through my team, so I don't have to make Skyrander wait any longer, because we are actually playing this on a very late deadline, because both of us had different issues with previous time frame that we selected to play this battle, which was on Sunday. So we moved it a little bit, and now we are already on Tuesday night. I've been already awake since 4 AM thanks to my internship, and it's right now like 8 PM. So I want to get this over with. I know Skyrander is feeling a little bit under the weather himself, so he wants to get this over with. So now let's go through the team. We are gonna be bringing first time this season our Conkelder, which is gonna be Guts Flame Offset with these 4 attacking moves. Basically triple fighting stab plus electric type coverage for his fighting resist of Quillfish and especially his Jellicent. He does also have Whimsicott, but it's not gonna be enjoying taking my hits at all. So I figured having a strong stab in close combat will be beneficial for us. And primarily this thing is there to deal with his broken mod that he was able to get for himself, luckily, being the Galarian Darmanitan. So Conkelder, important role this week to be a wall breaker and a revenge giver to his biggest threat that he possesses. And then we are gonna be bringing a physical defensive Weezing here with Strange Stream, Shadow Ball, Sleep Talk and Rest. This thing is here to take on his physical attacking threats that he primarily possesses on his roster. He has few special attackers that I have to watch out for, but primarily it's physical attacking oriented. So Weezing with a semi-reliable recovery in the Rest Talk hopefully can deal with them really well thanks to its typing as well going along with it. So that's gonna be the Weezing. Very simple, but hopefully very effective what it's going to be able to do for us. And then we are running a modest Assault Vest Seismitoad this week with Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Scald and Grass Knot. I don't know why I set them in that order. You see the moveset, those are basically the 4 moves. We are not running Stealth Rocks because I do bring Defog of my own, and I did need my Assault Vest on Seismitoad just in case if he brings Turtonator. So as long as he doesn't crit me, knock on wood, or he's not like Life Orb or Dragon Fang and runs Modest Nature, even though he should not be able to afford to run Modest, along with those boosting items, he should not be able to kill us after Stealth Rocks or after like 2 rounds of Stealth Rocks or Spikes or something like that. It's very bulky, but also very offensive, so it can OCO the Turtonator, it can 2-shot this Jellicent if I happen to snatch the Sludge Bomb Poison on it on a right turn. And yeah, it's gotta be basically there to be able to tank the hit from the Turtonator if it shows up. Otherwise it can be very annoying for him to switch into thanks to the coverage that it possesses. Then we are gonna be running another mod that he doesn't really enjoy switching to, which is gonna be my Gengar with heavy duty boots as its item, just to prevent sticky webs to affect on it, just in case if I do not manage to get rid of them, or if my remover does go down later on the battle and he managed to get them up yet again. So I want to have heavy duty boots just in case on this Gengar, because its matchup is way too good for Let It Begin, Let It Get Crippled like that. And we are running Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Dazzling Gleam and Protect. Dazzling Gleam is only there for Scrafty, otherwise I'm clicking one of my stabs and doing good damage to his entire team. Protect is just there to scout any of potential choice golfers and what they will be looking themselves into, especially the Galarian Darmanitan, which enables me to play around it a lot more appropriately, hopefully throughout this battle, and therefore making this as efficient that it hopefully can be at its full potential. And then we are running our physical defensive sort of Corviknight with Iron Head, Roost, U-turn and Defog. This is there just to provide a very good typing with Steel and Flying, to be immunity to Rhyperior's Earthquake, being able to resist Whimsicott's Dual Stab, providing us momentum, providing us a remover because he gets access to every single hazard in the game. So I figured it would be kinda risky for me to not bring a remover this week, and therefore Corviknight fit the bill pretty nicely for that. It's not gonna be a mod that I expect to really run rapid versus him and be the clutch member, but if he can just provide this for us and allow my other mods to shine even better this week, then Corviknight has done its job very well for us, and I'm happy with it if he can do that this week. And then we are gonna be running as our final member of our team, I believe, which is gonna be Sentiscots, running Restoxed yet again, just like the Weezing, but this is more offensive set. This is actually Adamant Nature Sentiscots, which is capable of two-shotting Jellicent with Power Whip, which is primarily what I wanted it to do, while at the same time having great resistance naturally versus Galarian Darmanitan, versus Whimsicott. It can take hits from Galvantula as well, even though it doesn't resist electric, but thanks to its natural bulk and the investments that I have, it should be able to take it out unless it's very offensive with its item of choice. And then other than that, it can actually be very annoying for him to switching to. The only real good switching that I saw from his roster would be the Turtonator, which I do worry about if it shows up, but I do have the Seismitoad in the back to be able to deal with it, hopefully. So that is going to be the team, and now I do get the chess timer shenanigans to set up with Skyrander so we can see what happens in the battle. So sit tight and let's get this show on the roll. And here we are finally with the battle. I think we have everything good to go versus Skyrander, and let's go and see what he ends up bringing. I feel like the Galvantula, Jellicent and Galarian Darmanitan are pretty much a must for him, except that he doesn't bring the Galarian Darmanitan. Okay, he brings Rhyperior. This changes things. He brought that. He brought Quillfish, Jellicent, Whimsicott, Darm, and what was the last one? Bronzong. He doesn't have any good switches to my Gengar, to be honest, barring his Rhyperior being some sort of bulkier set or him having reducing berries. So what I think I'm gonna be leading up with would be, honestly, this is interesting because I didn't think he wouldn't bring. I feel like my Seismitoad looks pretty good versus everything, and because he didn't bring the Turtonator, it doesn't serve precise need for this matchup with the Assault Vest, because it doesn't have to check a +2 Turtonator. So barring a Whimsicott lead, I'm pretty much good to go. And even if he leads with Darmanitan, I have my ways to deal with it. But now, let's see how this is gonna be going. Good luck and have fun, Skyrander. Hope we were gonna be having a clean, competitive battle. And I'm always excited and happy to face you. So hopefully this is gonna be a good one yet again. And let's see how this is gonna go. I'm curious to see what his lead is gonna be, because I would guess it would have been Darmanitan, but I don't think that's his nickname. Yeah, that's a Quillfish lead that he leads out with. He's probably trying to get some hazards out, but I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm gonna immediately attack what is in front of me instead of letting him to I'm not gonna allow him to overpredict and get a base spike, so I'm gonna just attack this thing, because this is one of the few things that he has. He has technically 3 resist. Okay, he does go for the taunt, expecting Stealth Rocks, but that's not the case. I do not run that, but I'm gonna be going for the Earth Power. He's building Okay, let's see. Oh my god, we just took that thing out of the picture. Holy crap, I think I cut Skyrander over-predicting turn 1 and I immediately popped that Quillfish out of the arena. Like, now Skyrander is like, has anyone seen my spiky fish? I'm very sure I led with it, and Seismith will be like, I don't know, something is flying up in the air, it might be that one. This is a fantastic lead, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here comes the Whimsicott, alright. He is probably banking going for a U-turn, but do I really care about that? I don't think I do, because basically I can go into either... I think I'm pretty set to go into my Corviknight. I don't think he can really pressure me with anything, whatever would come in, so I'm gonna make that play. I'm not gonna lure in the Rhyperior going into my Sandisco, so I'm gonna make a very simple play here and see what he's all about. I expect him to try to make a hard play here, going for U2. No, he does go for the Moonblast actually, interesting. And this is gonna be doing... Is that a crit? 172, I need to check my notes real quick. Is that a Specs amount of damage that he just did? He did... no, that actually... 57, no, it should not be Specs necessarily. So, this is pretty good because I get a slow U-turn off from here. So I'm gonna do just that and not worry about it too much. I'm curious to see what he's gonna be going into. He doesn't go for a U-turn, maybe he doesn't have it. He goes into the Jellicent, alright. That ain't too bad for ourselves, because this could give me basically a free switching into my Seismitoad. He might predict a Toxic here, but the other option is going to Gengar or going to my Sandiscorch immediately and click a Power Whip, which doesn't seem too bad because he doesn't switch into that too well and don't need this thing super healthy for anything else. So I'm gonna make that play. He might think he might scout for this, but he doesn't really have a good switching to this thing's dual stab. So I'm just gonna go for it and not think about it too much here. Even if he stays in, he also doesn't reveal to have leftovers, so I expect him to have some sort of reducing either item or reducing berry, not necessarily item, like berry, like Colbo Berry for Obstagoon. Kasi Berry would make a lot of sense for my Gengar. The other option would be like a Wakam Berry. And let's see what he goes into. He goes into the Whimsicott, okay. That's honestly actually fine. I can just go for the Power Whip, do decent amount of damage to this Whimsicott and reveal that is it gonna be leftovers or not. It did a good amount of damage, not gonna lie. And here, let me see his team again. I can see it from plus, I believe. Yeah, he doesn't switch into this thing too well, so I think I go for another one. Predict the Rhyperior to come in here, and maybe he clicks like U-turn on this particular turn. He does swap out. Let's see what he goes into. He goes back into Jellicent. Come on, Sandiscorch, land this for me, land this for me. There we go. Let's do some significant. Holy crap, that did so much damage. I'm loving this already. He doesn't switch into this beast at all, so I'm gonna be going for another one and not thinking about this. Sandiscorch putting the team on his back. Let's go. I'm loving this. If I can eliminate this Jellicent, it's gonna be a very tough position for him. Okay, what does he go into? He goes into this thing. I don't mind this too much because I can basically get to Power Whip. Not Power Whip. I get to Fire Lash on a following turn from here. So this is perfectly fine. And I will just go for that and not worry about it too much. So he doesn't really switch into this thing too well. Like the other option that he has is Rhyperior, but versus that thing I get the minus defense drop and I can potentially just not risk a miss on that particular turn versus Rhyperior. I can risk it versus the other things, but not versus that thing. So we are gonna be going for the Fire Lash, and this is gonna be doing good amount of damage as he does. Do not have Rock Move, do not have Rock Move. You do not have it. You go for the Flash Cannon, and he realizes that he has to sack something over here. I'm loving my Sandiscorch, man. Holy crap, this thing has such a good matchup versus him. I'm definitely going to keep you as healthy as possible, because you're beating so many things on his team. Like, as you're going to be noticing, he doesn't switch into this thing at all, and now he does swap out back into the Jellicent. Very interesting play. I wonder what this is, right? What is he trying to preserve that thing for? I get the defense drop right here, so I don't mind this at all. I don't have to risk. Well, now I do have to risk a miss because he got the curse buddy. I guess that's what he was aiming for, but you know what? That is what it is. If he goes into Bronzong, I don't mind it too much, because if he gets the rocks up, I just default. So we are going for the attack and try to eliminate this thing. He does swap out. I guess he's trying to literally be lucky and bad here, making sure that I don't have the Fire Lash right now activated, but he is not really enjoying this position, except the fact that I do miss this move. So a little bit unfortunate from there. I think I still want to stay in though. I'm gonna stay in. Hopefully this is kind of position, like, even though I'm disabled, it's going to be wearing off eventually, and he doesn't enjoy switching to this thing at all. And more damage I'm able to do the Whimsicott, the easier it is for me to actually revenge kill it with the Mach Punch from my Conkeldurr. So I don't mind doing this thing, doing this damage at all, because this is stalling out the disabled turns for me, which it makes it a lot easier for me going forward from here. So I think I'm gonna proceed to go for this yet again, except that I could also do the play going into my Corviknight, and I think I'm gonna do that. I don't need to stay in here, let this thing get any chip damage, because obviously he cannot swap into me, and I can basically nullify the curse body with this play. And if he happens to go for the Moonblast, I get a slow U-turn. Oh, he does go for the Tailwind. Interesting play. He brought Tailwind on his squad. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting tech from his behalf. So he might not then have U-turn because he backed that. So he's probably like dual stab, Psychic and Tailwind on this Whimsicott, which I don't honestly mind. Do I want to U-turn here? I think I still do. So let's not think about it too much. Let's just U-turn and see what is going to be his... He has Endeavor on this thing. Okay, he doesn't have the... Okay, interesting choice that he has. He has Endeavor on this Whimsicott. So he has Tailwind, Moonblast. I don't think he then has Psychic for you. I feel like that would be the case. Huh. That's a very particular turn. I think I have to still go into my Centiskorch here. And basically what I can do here is that I'm gonna actually hot swap back into my Corviknight. I'm gonna pressure stall his Endeavors, because I don't want my Corviknight to be so low when he has the Rhyperior in the back. So I'm gonna make that play. Hopefully he doesn't hot swap into the Rhyperior right now. And I don't think he did, because he should be faster than me, obviously, because he's a Whimsicott and he has Tailwind up. So I'm gonna stay in right here. Hopefully this... Yeah, he goes for the Endeavor again, but that shouldn't really... Well, it does a little bit, so... I don't think he should be able to kill me from here, so I can roost up here. Yeah, I'm gonna roost up. Hopefully the Moonblast doesn't actually pick me up. I'm a little bit worried about that being the case. But I feel like it is my best play to make sure that the Tailwinds are off. And go from there. The Endeavor on Whimsicott is definitely annoying. For sure. I'm really worried about his potential last move, but he does swap out. And he goes into Rhyperior. The Rhyperior does show up. Interesting. So I do go for the Roost here. And this is very particular situation, because I don't know what kind of set this Rhyperior is. Like, if his weakness policy, that would be rough. But I think my best play is to U-turn, go into my Seismitoad, and then go for a Crash Knot, because it should be able to pick off this Rhyperior as well. So I'm not going to... I have to also watch out for the Tailwind after this turn. I should have checked it right now, but I do want to make this swap. So the Tailwind is not up. I do want to watch out for the weakness policy, so he isn't like weakness policy and rock policy in itself. So I'm gonna go into my Seismitoad just in case, if it is that set, to ensure the fact that I can pop it out with this thing. So let's see what he goes for. He does go for the Earthquake. Very strong play from his behalf. That's a solid play, predicting that shit. But I will go for the Crash Knot from here, because I feel like the Jellicent would come in. And it still hits quad super effectively this Rhyperior as well. So, well, I guess he doesn't actually have the water immunity on Charizard, so that might have been misplay. But let's see, maybe he isn't the berry in itself. Ah, that was a misplay. I shouldn't gone for the, yeah. I immediately, when I clicked that was a misplay. I should have like thought about him. Yeah, that was a poor play from my behalf. But this should enable me to go into my Conkeldurr and enable me to get my to be able to get my Flame Orb activated, which is also very important, so I get this turn off. But that was a bad play from my behalf, unfortunately. But now I do go for the Drain Punch. If he goes into the Jellicent, I should be ideally able to outspeed it and go for the Thunder Punch, and he should be low enough in a range that even a Wacomberry should not be able to save him. So that was a poor play for my behalf that I went for the Grass Knot. I should have just, like, I just literally saw him having the Curse Body. So that's just one of those cases when I try to preserve time. If I just thought about it 2 seconds a little bit longer, I would have remembered that, oh yeah, he is Curse Body Charizard, not Water Absorb. So that is unfortunately from there, but I do go for the Drain Punch right here. I would anticipate myself to be able to outspeed this thing, as he does go into the Charizard. Okay, he does want to preserve that Rhyperior, which is unfortunate that he does, because I am a little bit weak to that thing at the current stage, so I should have just killed it right from there. But now I do go for the Thunder Punch, and hopefully it's gonna be picking this thing off right from the get-go here. Thankfully he doesn't have the Quillfish anymore. Whimsicott is a very low range, so it should be dying to Mach Punch, so Conkeldurr might actually be in a very strong position right now to actually do a lot of work for me. But it was a very unfortunate case. We do outspeed him, which is fantastic, and the Jellicent does go down. He did not have Wacomberry, so I would guess right now it would have been Berry, considering how weak he was to the Gengar. But I don't know for sure, but I'm curious to see from his perspective what was the item on it. Again, I anticipate it to be a reducing berry for whatever need he decided to have the most on him. But he does go into the Darmanitan. That's a wild play. Why would you do this? I'm gonna Mach Punch the shit out of you. I'm not gonna worry about this guy. If you call the berry, so be it. But nah, we are gonna pop the Darmanitan right from the get-go. The Pokemon. I was really worried. Like, I'm starting to get too paranoid in this battle. First it was the Jellicent with Water Absorb and be able to run dual abilities versus me. Which, by the way, was a Wet Potato moment. But that moment I thought for a second, does he actually have the okay, let's see, how much am I doing to this Whimsicott? I need to check this just in case. Mach Punch should be doing 23% at minimum to him, so ideally, don't I just win here if I get this kill? He has Rhyperior left, he has the Bronzong left. I think I should be able to win the battle from here, so I'm gonna go for the Mach Punch. Let's go for the win here, come on. Come on, Conkeldurr, don't be a wussy. Kill the Whimsicott, come on, there we go, Conkeldurr is joining the debut of our beast, which we picked in round 2 on the UBL, guys. This is kinda ironic, cause Skyrander, by the way, make sure to go and check out his UBLD recon if you haven't seen it yet. He is the person who has shown how good this mon was already in Generation 7, which was the generation that I was most hesitant about how much work it can actually do. But man, this is kind of funny, because I feel like Skyrander will admit that he really misplayed himself to allow Conkeldurr to be such a big threat to him after the turn 1 occurred, and then I make my own Wet Potato moment. Thinking that I cannot get over the fact that I thought about, oh, I'm gonna go for the Grass Knot, the Jellicent is Water Absorb. I can only laugh at myself, like how that actually happened. Now I'm gonna go for the close combat, showcase the power for him, make sure that this thing is out of the picture, and no Chopo Berry will be able to clean this up. But we are able to beat Skyrander, I believe, in a very quick fashion, a lot more quicker fashion than I thought. After I made that misplay, I thought, okay, this is gonna be a close battle from here on out, because I lost my Seismitoad for no reason. Then Conkeldurr came in and I'm like, okay, this game is mine. I'm gonna carry this shit and beat the whole ass unit, because everything was in a range of that thing. But great game to Skyrander. I'm sure due to the fact that he is feeling a lot under the weather, that maybe his thought progress wasn't really as sharp that I expected it to be. But same goes for me, honestly. Like, I'm gonna make that the Krasnov play and say that it was due to the fact that I've been sleeping. But anyway, good game to him. I do hope that he makes to the playoffs and we can have a lot more closer battle, which I know he can give to me for sure. I have faced him and seen him play before in UBL Season 3 and the D-League, and I saw him last battle versus Maro, so he definitely knows his stuff. Make sure to check him out. Great guy. Go and wish him a quick recovery from the fever and maybe flu, which he might be struggling with. But until week 4 battle, when we go up against the Ultra player, and yeah, until then, I'm gonna be seeing you guys later.